Hey guys, Got197 again. This time a review of the 1/44 scale high-grade Universal Century new Gundam from the Shark's Counterattack movie. And for colors, we get a very sleek and unique color scheme with a lot of white going on and also a lot of very dark blue on the chest, the calves, the bottom of the feet. And with those two colors, it does have somewhat less of a parade feel than a lot of the other Gundams out there. Then for some minor details, we have red on the crotch, on the cockpit, and also for those two panels there on the back skirt. Then we have some yellow, quite orangey yellow, right here for his beam saber guard, for the other beam saber there, of course for the V-fin, for the vents, and also for much smaller detail right here on the thrusters on the shoulders. And that's definitely not something you see a lot on high-grade Universal Century model kits. And some more little thrusters we get on his fin funnels, also right here. Now the yellow on the white part of the fin funnels, those are stickers, and I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up really well, but in real life, when you look at it close enough, you can tell the difference, but from afar, it's a pretty damn good match between the sticker and the actual plastic part, so they did a pretty damn good job there. And then finally, for the color scheme, we also get a very nice gunmetal gray for all of the gray parts on it. Moving on with the regular stickers, and most of them, we've already seen the yellow stickers on the top row are for the fin funnels on the top and on the bottom. And then the few that are left are for the eyes as usual. Right there, we get a very nice shiny green one, metallic green one, for the main camera, one for the back camera, and then also one for the sensor on his chest. Then we get a yellow one for the V on his crotch, two more little yellow ones at the bottom of his feet. And then the final one already is a pretty unique one. It's a black round one that goes into the barrel of the bazooka, because, well, it's a very wide bazooka. And other than the bazooka, which is going to require a bit of paint, like right here, some of that dark blue, and right there, some of the dark blue. It's a pretty spot-on job of Bandai that they did with this machine, especially with the yellow with those little yellow thrusters on his shoulders and also on the fin funnels. But that's not all for stickers that we're getting. We also get some nice marking stickers, insignia stickers. We got a small one that goes onto the left shoulder for Amuro, and then also a bigger one that goes onto the shields, and that is a very, very cool looking red unicorn. And when we flip it around, a little more detail here, those little red missiles, those are some really cool detailed things. And of course his mega particle or cannon or beam rifle that's built into the shield. On to articulation, the head goes really far backwards, forwards, rotates around all the way. It's just on the stiff side because it is plastic that's rubbing against plastic. So unlike some other models, the neck joint isn't made out of polycap material, and there isn't a polycap inside of the head either. So just be a bit careful with not moving around the head too much. Then arms will rotate around all the way, go backwards and forwards a bit, and upwards really, really far. And then we have the arms themselves. They're rotated, so the shoulder goes up like that, then the arms all the way like that. So even Amuro's latest Gundam, well, his final Gundam, can also do the last shooting pose. And we'll rotate around below the shoulder, rotate, bends at the elbow, and only one joint. Sadly enough, that is kind of a feature of the Shark's Counterattack mobile suit. And his hands will turn around, wiggle around, and do everything a ball joint does. The waist will rotate around all the way. And as it's on a ball joint, if you extend it, will also wiggle forwards, backwards, side to side, and once again, everything a ball joint does. Then front skirts mold together, but can be separated. Legs go forwards all the way like that, backwards a bit until they hit the back skirt, and also these top two parts of his upper legs do have a tendency to separate when you're moving the thing around. Then go out about that far quite nicely and rotate around a bit. The knees double jointed, and that's about as far as we're going to get. Then the flap with the thruster goes up and down, and finally the feet go forwards, backwards, and inside there on a double joint there's a hinge joint moving it forwards and backwards, and then also a ball joint. Then that same hinge joint will also allow it to go side to side, and then that ball joint will once again give it a little bit more articulation. So it's double jointed both backwards, forwards, and side to side. And we'll also rotate around about that far, and of course you can push it a bit if you decide to push the plastic. So overall, the new Gundam has pretty much the articulation you'd expect from a Shark's counterattack model kit. Sadly enough, including the single jointed elbows. I'll probably never understand why they decided to revert back to single jointed elbows. But what definitely isn't standard on this thing are his accessories. Starting off with one of the coolest things this thing has, his beam saber. And yes, I said beam saber, because this is definitely one of the more unique beam sabers I've seen with a Gundam. Also one of the few beam sabers that has articulation. This little flap here actually moves up and it folds up. It doesn't require any parts forming whatsoever, and it has its own dedicated beam blades. Also, because the peg is rectangular, it will not fit into a normal beam saber. And also a little thingy at the end right there, and this is a really nice and unique beam saber. The one disappointment is that we only get a right holding hand. For some reason, the new Gundam is, I'm pretty sure, the only Shark's counterattack model kit that has only one left holding hand. And now you might be thinking, well, maybe it's because he only has one beam saber, or because it doesn't come with any other weapons. And in both cases, you would pretty much be wrong. Also, one unfortunate thing is that the beam saber does have a bit of a hard time fitting perfectly into the only holding hand he comes with. But yeah, if you fiddle around with it a little bit, you will eventually be able to get it to hold. And one desperate measure is to just flip the damn thing around. Now, the first point you might think, maybe he only comes with one beam saber. Well, we get a second one right there. This isn't as unique or mind-blowing as the first one, but it's a beam saber nonetheless. And it's even got a pretty damn cool mechanism to deploy. This slides out, and then it actually folds out on a hinge. You're not just pulling the beam saber out, it's actually connected to the arm. Just be careful not to break that tiny, tiny little peg that's in there. This slides back up, and then we put it in the hand. And oddly enough, he does have a much easier time holding on to this thing. The less impressive beam saber, but the way he holds it, I guess you can say, is more impressive. Now, onto the other thing, maybe he only comes with beam sabers. Of course, if you know what the new Gundam's all about, you know that's pretty false too, because, well, we get a very nice looking beam rifle. Not much going on with it, but it does exactly what it should. And unlike the impressive beam saber, no problems at all holding on to the beam rifle, because it comes with the by now standard peg, which pegs into the hand for incredible stability, and it's a pretty damn good peg at that. And well, it also comes with the bazooka I've already shown, and it has some mobility. The handle goes backwards and forwards. Once again, has a peg on there, fits into the trigger finger hand absolutely perfectly, and also has this right here, meaning that you can slide it onto the back, and even this thing has a bit of mobility. And if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm remembering correctly, he can actually use the bazooka like this, which is probably why it is articulated. And I'm pretty sure he also used it like this in the actual movie while doing a backflip. That's pretty damn awesome. And this model kit allows you to replicate that awesome maneuver. Then his final regular accessory is, of course, a shield I've already shown with the very nice unicorn Amuro insignia on it. Comes with the missiles, comes with a beam cannon, and clips onto the arm absolutely perfectly. And because of the way it clicks onto the arm, you can, of course, only use it on the left arm. However, you can slide it out and use it like that if you want to. And in both positions, the shield will also rotate around. And well, that's the final regular accessory. Now we get one final impressive accessory. Well, I say one, but it's more like 6 of them. The fin funnels. And these are pretty damn awesome units, because not only are they all fully functional, but they also were smart enough to give you a way of identifying which fin funnel is which fin funnel, because as you can see, the way they hook together means that not every fin funnel is the same. And they also discovered a very discreet way of showing you which fin funnel is which fin funnel. As you can see, this one here has 3 vertical stripes, and that one also has 3, and this one has 2 vertical stripes right there. And then this one only has 1 vertical stripe, and that is going to affect how they go together, because of course some of them are next to each other and then the other ones are above each other, and that is pretty relevant if you're going to stack them together. And these fin funnels, for what they are pretty advanced, so you can rip all of them apart, and then they all have connectors that you can swivel to either the left or to the right. Meaning that if you do not like the way the fin funnels are stored normally, you can come up with your own configuration for the fin funnels. And as I've said, they're all individually functional. And that is not all, because this set also comes with a spare fin funnel connector. And when you turn them around, normally you have a fin funnel connector on the left side and the beam saber holder on the right side. Now what you can do is remove the beam saber holder and replace it with this thing. So if you're a bit on the OCD side and you do not like asymmetrical mobile suits, you can remove this and actually reorganize the fin funnels so that you do have 3 fin funnels on each side. And as I've said, the fin funnels are individually numbered. They hook onto each other slightly different, but you can have them symmetrical. So OCD people, this model kit has you absolutely covered. And also every fin funnel except for 2 of them can hook onto those connectors. So simply slide them on there. And now it's the fully equipped new Gundam. And now is the symmetrical new. In order to put them like this, you simply put number 1 onto the peg, number 2 in the middle, and number 3 on the outside. But wait, there's more. We also get a left open palm hand. Only a left hand, no right hand this time. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, the new Gundam is a bit of a mixed bag, but it definitely has a positive outcome. For all of the little annoyances it has, such as the single jointed elbows or the single right holding hand for the beam sabers, it comes packing with awesome features such as the fin funnels, even providing for our OCD friends, a really cool beam saber, and some really cool details such as the little yellow thrusters. So for 2,500 yen, it is an expensive machine, well, an expensive model kit, but there is a reason. It has those cool little things, and for all those little things, it's also a big machine, as you will see shortly with the size comparison. So it's definitely worthy of its price. It has some cool engineering going on in the fin funnels, and some cool engineering all over the machine, such as the sliding small beam saber holder on his left arm. The little detail all over, it's definitely worth its price. Also, it's the new Gundam. Finally, for size comparisons, here is next to his G3 Gundam and the Rick Diaz to immediately put the size of the new Gundam into perspective. As I've said before, it's a pretty big machine. So here is next to some other impressive machines, the Silver Bullet and the Stark Jagan. And finally, here is next to the standard size Gym Custom and the always bulky Zaku 3. And this time, it seems that the Zaku 3 has met its match. The new Gundam is actually slightly bigger than the Zaku 3 when it comes to head height. And well, that's all for this review, and see you guys next time.